We'll start the bulletin with important update regarding tension in the Middle East.
Iran has become the focal point of a new escalations of tensions in the region. Early Saturday afternoon, Vietnam told the United States and Israel launched a preemptive strike against Iran, citing what they described as growing security threats. Iran responded shortly afterward, warning that its retaliation would be very strong. The latest developments are pushing the region into a dangerous spiral of confrontation and casting a shadow over diplomatic efforts surrounding Tehran's nuclear program. Multiple loud explosions were heard in northern and eastern Tehran, as well as in several other cities on Saturday afternoon Vietnam time, as Israel launched a preemptive strike against Iran. In response, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps carried out several waves of missile and drone attacks targeting Israel. Israel declared a state of emergency and closed airspace, vowing to continue its campaign against Iran until its strategic objectives are achieved. The United States also declared that it stands alongside Israel in efforts to neutralize strategic targets, including Iran missile capabilities, naval strength, and other perceived threats. The latest developments are pushing the Middle East into a severe military escalation, as Tehran warned that all U.S. military facilities and interests in the region are within its range. On Saturday afternoon, Iran launched a series of missiles and unmanned aerial vehicles directly at U.S. military bases in Bahrain, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, and Kuwait. Amid the continued escalation, several countries in the region have decided to close their airspace to ensure aviation safety.
Regional and global powers are closely monitoring the situation with growing concern. Analysts say the current confrontation involving the United States and Israel and Iran is unlikely to resemble the brief 12-day conflict seen last June. Instead, it could prove far more complex, costly, and potentially escalation. To gain further insight, we spoke with Dr. Christian Patrick Alexander, a scholar at the Rabban Academy, United Arab Emirates, an expert on security issues in the region, to clarify several related matters. Hello, doctors. Now, Israel and the United States have launched strikes against Iran. So, in your view, what are the most notable aspects of this attack?
One could ask the question, why now? What triggered this? There might be several overlaying layers to this answer. So one is the security rationale, the official line that Washington and Tel Aviv have been warning for weeks that they would strike again if Iran continued, or did not give in to the demands that are being made by the United States. The US and Israeli assessment have been increasingly alarmist about missile deployments, enrichment levels, and Iran's regional activities via its proxy, so this has been framed as eliminating imminent threats to the United States and its allies.
So, in your assessment, what developments are likely to follow?
The short answer would be the next 48 to 70 hours are critical in my mind. We should expect to see additional strike on Iranian missile launchers, air defense sites, IRGC bases, and naval assets in the Gulf. I think we're also going to see cyber operations in electronic warfare aimed at blinding Iranian radar and command networks. And so I think that's on the one hand. Of course, Iran's response options will also be based on hypothetical direct missiles and drones against Israel, which has already happened. Potentially US bases in Qatar, Bahrain, Iraq, and the UAE, proxy attacks, possibly Hezbollah in Lebanon, Iraq militias and houses in Yemen against the Israeli territory, Gulf infrastructure or shipping. There might be maritime disruption near the Strait of Hormuz or in the Gulf of Oman.
Thank you so much for your information, Doctor. Now, regarding escalating tensions in the Middle East, on Saturday, Vietnam Foreign Ministry spokesperson Phạm Thu Hằng expressed concern over the increasingly complex tension in the region. The escalation poses serious threats to civilian life and safety, as well as to regional and global peace and stability. Vietnam calls on all relevant parties to exercise maximum restraint, immediately halt actions that escalate tensions, protect civilians and critical infrastructure, and resolve differences through peaceful means. The spokesperson stressed the importance of strict adherence to international law, the United Nations charters, and relevant United Nations resolutions. She also called for respect for nation sovereignty and territorial integrity, and the creation of favorable conditions for peace negotiation to ensure security and stability in the region and beyond.
And amid rising tension in the Middle East, the Vietnamese embassies in Israel on February 28 issued an urgent notice to nationals of Vietnam, urging heightened vigilance and strict compliance with local safety regulation. The embassy advised citizens to follow security guidance from local authorities, stay informed through Vietnamese community networks, limit travel between cities, remain near shelters, and prepare personal safety plans. Citizens are also encouraged to be ready to return home or move to a third country if permitted. In emergency or for consular assistance, Vietnamese nationals are urged to contact the embassy hotline number, which is shown on screen.